Is it that time already? Well, good evening, everyone. I'm glad all that prompting worked earlier. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Martin, for your kind words. It's much appreciated. So, firstly, on behalf of my wife and I, we would like to thank all of you for joining us on our special day. We appreciate that most of you have had to travel here today. Yeah, sure. And we are touched that so many people have made such a huge effort. Thank you for the exceptionally generous gifts and cards we've received. They are greatly appreciated, and I hope you have all enjoyed the day so far. Unfortunately, though, some people aren't able to be with us today and will be sorely missed. So first of all, Susie's great uncle, Ian and Auntie Joan, my grandparents, who unfortunately have passed away, Nanny Lily and Grandad Harry, and also Nanny Dima and Grandad Ron, who unfortunately couldn't make it down today. I know they would have loved to have been here to enjoy this special day for the whole family. There are also a few friends who couldn't make today, Ruth and Jim, Claire Whitbread and Jess Sterenborg, who I know sent their regards and their best wishes. So, please join me in my first toast to absent friends and family. Absent friends and family. Cheers. Don't worry, we'll stand up in a bit. Right, one card down. Next one. Right, there are lots of thank yous to get through because so many people have helped us make today so special. So firstly, I hope you're nervous, guys. Who am I going to pick on first? Tori, have a stand up, Tor. Oh, there she is. Tori has helped Susie with her makeup, and I'm sure you will agree that Susie looks fantastic. So, thank you for not making her look like a clown, Tori. Or something from my big fat gypsy wedding. It's much appreciated. And if we haven't given it to you already, here is a small gift. Did you give Tori her gift earlier?
No, it might be in the cupboard.
So, we're going to give you a little present later. Alright? Have a sit down. Alright, all done. Right, one down, next one. And this probably is the same for everyone that's going to get gifts. We'll sort you out later. Right, thank you, nextly, to Sarah Potts. Sarah, have a stand up, come on. Sarah kindly made our fantastic table plan that you probably saw after the wedding lineup. I'm sure you agree, it all looked fantastic, and it will always remind us of all the people that attended our special day. Just to let you know, if anyone's interested, I'm sure she has a business card, and I will be demanding a 20% introductory fee, Sarah, okay? Have a sit down, well done. Right, next thank you goes to Peter, Ella, Shamila and Hannah. They played the beautiful music that you have heard performed during our register signing, and I'm sure you agree it was a beautiful, beautiful gesture, and it was very much well appreciated. So thank you again. Nice round of applause. Yet again, once we work out where the presents are, we'll give them to you. Right, another thank you goes to our man over here, Joel. He's been silently, digitally working away, recording the whole day, and he's done that out of the kindness of his own heart, and we much appreciate it. So if everyone, I was going to get everyone to wave at Joel, but because he's got fixed cameras, oh wait a minute, oh there we go, everyone wave at the camera! That actually did work.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see if you make the edit. So, yet again, Joel, thank you very much. Next of all, I would like to move on to my ushers. My brother Mark, my brother Ryan, and my new brother Alex, wherever he's gone. They did a great job being parking attendants. Oh, actually, you didn't have to do that today, did you? You didn't have to phone. Oh, never mind, that's that part of the speech that was a bit null and void. But they were very good at putting bums on seats. However, one little gripe that I have about you guys is that all of you have reinforced the fact that I am now the shortest brother in the extended family. However, you've also proved that I'm the best looking. Right. big thank you yet again goes to Mark and Alex, who did our readings. I'm sure you'd agree it was fantastically well done, and I much appreciate it. And I'd also like to say a big thank you to Elizabeth, who did our prayers, and it really was very much heartfelt, and we really enjoyed that, Elizabeth, so thank you very much. So, next, some important people. Oh, we'll do it in the end. Next, I would like to thank Susie's bridesmaids, Claire and Libby. I'm sure you all would agree they look stunning. If you don't say so yourself. No, I'm joking. But considering how I know Susie is a complete and utter control freak, and printed everyone and anyone an itinerary for today, I know the girls have done a fantastic job in helping Susie this morning and provided a calming influence to an otherwise excitable and very nerve-wracking morning. So, Claire, Libby, thank you for looking after her this morning, and thank you for all your help in making today so special. A big thank you also goes to Stacey, Susie's honorary bridesmaid, who I know with Claire and Libby, from what I have heard, organised a fantastic hen do, along with a blow-up Gary Barlow. But yet again, as a little thank you, I think you had your gifts this morning, and Stacey, if you haven't got yours, we'll make sure you get yours later. There's Stacey over there. Oh no, wait. Oh, there, is that? Yeah, she's there. Give everyone a wave, Stacey. Right, so first of all, so toast time again, I'm afraid. So if you could all be upstanding and raise a glass to the bridesmaids. To the bridesmaids. Right, please have a sit down again, guys. So, this leads me on to some of the most important people, our parents. I would like to thank Martin and Lynn for bringing up such a beautiful, headstrong, don't I know about it, and kind daughter. I promise I will look after and love her forever. Thank you. Yeah, don't get me going. Thank you for also accepting me into your family. You always know you're comfortable and accepted with your in-laws when every board game you play with them, and believe me, in the Cooper household, that's a lot of board games. Hayden said when Martin said that in his speech, I was like, yes. And also that no matter how much sexual innuendo you use in said games, and people who know me will know that that's a lot. And that they still laugh and don't call me a disgusting reprobate means that we will always get on well. So, yeah, again, I'd just like to say thank you so, so much for making me... Yeah. And I look forward to all the Cooper Deemer family outings that I'm sure we'll have in the rest of our coming years. Also, a big thank you goes to my parents. It must have been so, so hard producing such a handsome, intelligent and charismatic son. This would probably be a good time to let you know that their pet name for me is the Creep. Or Slithro. I wonder why. But, in all seriousness, I couldn't have asked for two better role models. For their love, guidance and wisdom have helped make me the man I am today. So, I want to convey our huge gratitude to both our parents for their immense generosity, and without such, none of today would have been possible. Believe me, there's no chance that we'd ever get off all this. So I hope they will... so again, this is a part of it, so I hope they'll accept these gifts. Are they ready? Oh. Yes, Alex, oh, yeah, go for it. So I hope they will accept these gifts as a token... Oh no, Alex, they're over here. Oh no, flowers are over there, maybe. Yeah, Libby, you grab those ones. You get the flowers. So let's do the dads first. So,
That camera, yeah?
for the dads, I hope you would appreciate...
Organisation.
No, you got this. So there you go. Pleasure. Oh, I think it's flying.
Open it now. Pick a few bits off.
Play more to embarrass you. So, yet again, I would like you to be upstanding and raise a glass to our parents. Martin and Lynn, Sue and Ron, cheers! Right, sorry, it's still warm. Right, more importantly, on to the star of the show, the main attraction, Susie. First of all, I just want to say how exquisitely beautiful looking you are today. I've long envisioned this day, but nothing prepared me for how gorgeous you looked when I saw you walking down the aisle. You truly took my breath away, and I'm sure everyone in the room thinks it too. But now you're stuck with me and I have 138 witnesses to prove it. To anyone who has got married will know how much time, effort and work is involved in the preparation. I've watched in amazement how Susie has pretty much single-handedly organised this entire thing, and that's no lie, because she wouldn't let my mum help or her mum help. You put your heart and soul into making this day perfect, and it is. But, before I let her take all the praise, you see those table name centerpieces? Yeah, I made those. Stacey, on Stacey's printer. And what we won't tell them, Stacey, is that we couldn't get it to print in the middle, and that's why we stuck all those butterflies down the side to kind of even it all up. But shh! No one will ever know. Right. So, why do I love Susie so much? Well, when I first started work at Poole Hospital, I was very much single. So a colleague at the time... That bit was not supposed to be funny. So anyway, a colleague at the time, Nathan... Yeah, the horny toad that you are. Let me into a secret. A hospital ward called B4. Nate told me all the fit nurses and doctors work there, and it so happens that cutting through said ward was a shortcut to get to mine. But apparently cutting through a ward is against hospital policy due to increased chance of spreading infection. Nothing gets in the way of finding love. So, I used to walk through B4 and smile at any pretty lady that I could catch the eye of. One day, I called Susie's. However, it didn't materialise to anything, as we were too shy, and moved in different circles. However, fast forward 2 years, and our circles become intertwined through the one and only Carleen McCartney. Where is she? I told you you'd get a mention. Turns out that Carleen was the social hub of the hospital and went about ensuring that we got together. And that leads us to a Halloween mess party. I was a Ghostbuster, she was a devil. And the rest, they say, is history. So Susie, I'm in awe of your kindness, I'm in awe of your intelligence, and I'm even more in awe that almost after 4 years, you still tickle my back when I ask. Yeah, it's very much a demon thing. Susie, I'm addicted to being with you. I miss you when I'm at work. I miss you when you're on one of your long night shifts. And I miss you even more when you go on one of your stupidly long gym sessions. It means the world to me that we are officially the Demons. And without doubt, this is the happiest day of my life. I love you with all my heart. Thank you for marrying me and making me the luckiest man in the world. So before I propose a final toast, I would just like to say thank you to Carleen. If it wasn't for your somewhat dubious matchmaking skills, Susie and I may have never got together. So ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding and join me in making the most important toast I'm likely to ever make to my wife, my bride and joy, Susie. Susie. I promise I'm almost done. Right, that leaves me to hand you over to my best man Mike, who's not happy himself whatsoever. But before I do, I'm sorry there are no sugared almonds or wedding favours on your table. We decided that this money could be a lot better spent looking after those less fortunate than ourselves. So we decided to donate that money to the Calcutta Rescue Charity, which is a charity very close to Susie and her family. And I know that that money will help children to gain a better education and help look after people, as I said, a lot less fortunate ourselves. But, as I say, I just want to explain why you haven't got any sugared nuts on your table. Anyway, without further ado, I'll hand you over to my best man, Mike Tomney.
Cheers, Creep. My first thank you's got to go to Alex for sorting this out. Cheers, mate. Saves my voice a lot. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, finally the one you've been waiting for. I hope you've enjoyed your food. They say the best man's speech is the groom's worst 5 minutes of the day. The bride's worst 5 minutes of the day, however, come later on tonight. I'd like to first of all say thanks to the parents of the bride and groom, and from what I hear, Susie, for putting together such a wonderful day and a superb wedding. They must be pretty happy to have finally thrown their children out into the big bad world. Already I'm thinking that this is one of the best parties I've ever been to. All we need now for a successful conclusion is for Will to stay awake for the duration of the day. You'd better lay off the beers, Will. Can we raise a glass and toast the parents of the bride and groom? Parents of the bride and groom. Secondly, and although this may seem customary to say, but it's very relevant today, the bridesmaids both look absolutely gorgeous. My room number is 129, so but they are thoroughly outshone by the stunning Susie. Doesn't she look beautiful? Glittering from head to toe. Carry on. You've definitely got to keep it there. I first heard about Susie after we'd met her at a hospital function. I could tell from the moment that they started talking about her, or he started talking about her, that she was the one for him and they would end up together forever. And looking through the endless photos and status updates on Facebook, this certainly seems to be the case. You know it's true love when Will puts a photo up of himself in his underwear, nothing else on, and Susie's the only one who doesn't slaughter him. I was a bit concerned that after Will made his dressing up tendency so public on his stag do, that Susie might have had some competition for today. But given the formal nature of the occasion, I'm glad that you've copied my outfit rather than Susie's. Alright, now the formalities are out of the way, I can get into the more important things, such as embarrassing Will in the next couple of minutes as much as I can. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Mike, and I've known Will since he was this high. I know he's still this high, since he was a young age. My first memories of him was at football, and he had these tight white shorts on and a ridiculous haircut, went all the way down the back of his neck. Not a lot of change there, Will. As we know, he went on to play for Watford, and he could have been it was a possibility that he could have been had a glittering career as a footballer and gone on to earn millions and millions of pounds. And with Susie, you could well have been a wag. But this didn't transpire, and instead he ended up spending all his dad's money, spending 7 years at university.
Best 7 years of my life.
Well, apparently so. Let me finish. Now, people say being at university really makes a man. So I'd have thought spending so long at uni that Will would have learned a few things. How to chat with girls, how to dance, how to live on his own. More importantly, how to handle his alcohol. Instead, he has learned how to effectively sleep in a wardrobe. He's discovered he has a penchant for dressing up. And he has failed to train his liver sufficiently enough to be able to handle his alcohol. Will has led a varied and eventful life. There is so much I could talk about to fill this speech out. From when he first met Susie at the hospital, his time as a child and what it was like to grow up with him, his brothers and his parents, testing at the best of times. His time at Loughborough and Herts unis, and his lifestyle and his new friends he's made since he moved down to Poole. But his inability to handle his alcohol leads me on to one of my favourite stories I've known since I've ever met Will. And there are a lot more. For those of you who are interested, I'll be at the bar after this speech and mine's a pocket soda and lime. This story happened when we went to visit a friend who lives in Bishop Stortford. We went there with all the makings of a good night in store. We had the hangover breakfast sorted, we played a few manly drinking games before we went out, and we were full of expectation for a good night. Once at the club, we were mingling as you do, and myself and the other lads noticed that Will had disappeared. A search from top to bottom ensued, and although it may have been a bit like Where's Wally, as he's wearing this big bright red jumper, dress sense, he could not be found anywhere. So we tried calling his phone, but alas, it went straight to answer machine. Us being men, and slightly a bit worse for wear by now, we came to the conclusion that Will must have pulled and went home with a very lucky young lady. But then we thought, hold on, this is Will. And we were convinced this couldn't be the case. However, we decided that he's a big boy, biggish boy,
I'll take that.
in height-wise. I'll see you in the shower. There isn't a lot we can do, and we were certain to see him back at the house. Come home time, we kept trying his phone, but again to no avail, and become slightly worried when he wasn't at the house. However, being the men that we were all passed out and expected a phone call in the morning asking us to pick him up from somewhere. The morning came, a few hours passed, and no phone call. So we were getting a bit slightly worried by him, but as we mulled over breakfast what could have happened to him, my phone did flash up with Will's name on it. And a very groggy sounding Will told us about his night. He walked out of the club to get some fresh air and soon realised he was in trouble. From what he can remember, he decided to take part in a great drunken tradition at the time of hedge jumping. For those of you who don't know, hedge jumping is where you jump over back garden hedges for fun, random people's back garden hedges for fun. He decided that, once he ended up in one garden, he decided that this is where he'll stay for the night. And knocked on the back door, hoping to gain entry at 2 AM in the morning. A bewildered old man answered, frying pan in hand, obviously really scared that someone was trying to break into his house. Once he saw Will, he realised he was in no danger. And told him that he was clearly in the wrong house. After a brief discussion, Will decided that indeed he was in the wrong house and was sent on his way. When Will eventually found the road, it wasn't long until the police pulled up and started questioning him about his evening. Will, being as honest as ever, told them that he was pretty drunk, had no idea where he was staying, and no idea where he was walking to. He eventually arrived back at a place in which he could stay for the night, his house in St Albans. Courtesy of the local constabulary, via an hour's journey around the M25.
Cheapest taxi I've ever had.
Well, was it a taxi? Unfortunately for Will and his mother, he did not have his house keys on him at the time. So a ring on the doorbell at 4 AM in the morning is exactly what Sue wanted. A quick wave at the top of his drive to thank his £80 taxi ride, public order offence fine. Goodbye. And a slap around the head from his mum, you'll be pleased to know that he made it home safely. I must point out at this point, as he was telling me this story on the phone, I heard a very angry Sue in the background simply saying, "William, get downstairs now, your dad wants to speak to you." Soon after this, any time someone did anything silly or out of the ordinary, it became known as, "Oh no, you've done a Dima." There are many other stories I can tell you about from the likes of Jamaica, Barbados, Gran Canaria, Balaraki, Free Festival, Malia, and both universities. But I won't go into them now. I'm going to conclude on a serious note. And I've seen Will grow up into an honest, hard-working, committed man. And I've never seen him happier than he is when he is with Susie or talking about Susie. His eyes always light up at the sound of her name, and I know that he'll be very happy for years to come. I can honestly say that he's fully focused on his life as a physio and his career as a husband to Susie, and I wish them all the happiness in the world. So please could you be upstanding and raise your glasses for a toast to the bride and groom. You got away like you.